And we're live! I was gonna say on a Wednesday, but I don't know what day of the fucking energy we woke up in. Jeez, I'm so full of energy. What's up, everybody? Hi, 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 hi. I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer. I wish you grabbed some cards. Oracle, lightworker, Starseed, Earth Angel, Mystic, Medium, Psychic, Witch, Yogi. I sit my cards right here on my lap, and then I cross my hands, and I look like this whole genie right here. What did I say it was? Yogi, Guru, Evangelist, North American symbol. I am your messenger of God. The first child of God. The Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, you would have to catch... Ooh, don't watch last night's video. I never say that, but realistically, just forget it. All you need to know is read the first page of the Bible. We started at the back and then we went to the front, and you shouldn't have done that. Don't eat the ass, bro. Just go to the front of the book. Anyways, aside from that, you can see what I posted on my community page, my latest short. What's going on? I'm going through a massive integration of past lives. It's like, I was laughing about it in my car. I had so many downloads. Astrally, I was sitting in front of a fireplace. Yeah, I was just sitting there. I was like, damn, I need a fireplace at my house. I know there's not one at the house I'm going to, but I'm manifesting that for the future. I need a fireplace. Really? Yeah, I need that so bad in my life. Hey, do you know what my favorite perfume is? White sage. Dude, people smell like all kinds of things. I smell like I bathe in this shit, bro. For real. And I feel so clean when I smell it on me. I'm like, oh, I'm so spiritually clean. You know that smell? It smells like a hippie, to be honest. You should get used to that smell, because I'd be burning it. I'd be sitting in smoke. Anyways, I was sitting there, and it's like my higher self had to come in. It's time. I'd shift timelines. That's what's going on. I said that. I was like, they're taking the Lilith and the Kali, and they're making a ball of me, inside of me. They're Play-Dohing. Realistically, yeah. I mean, I had all of my parts accessible, my higher self's accessible, but now we're releasing more of myself is what we're doing, but we're integrating it. The very unwise maiden meets the very wise mother. Kalima is the mother. So, in essence, I go from... It's really kind of funny. If I could pull it out in the cards, which we're probably about to do. I'm shifting through the cards. Which card have I never fully been yet? Queen of Pentacles. I can psychologically, yes, but the actual manifestations, no. If it was something simplistic, which card are you working through or working to get to? Queen of Pentacles. I've always been the Queen of Swords, always been the Queen of Wands, always been the Queen of Cups. I never claimed the Queen of Pentacles. I never claimed the Queen of Pentacles. I'm the High Priestess, I'm the Empress, I'm all cards, but that's the one we're doing right now. If I could tell you what timeline I'm shifting to, it's the Queen of Pentacles. Really? Yeah, something like that, if I could just put it in a simple sentence. But that's not what's happening. I'm shifting from the maiden to the mother. And the maiden doesn't want to be a mother. Motherfucker. But Kali was the best mother. Kali is the wisest mother. Between Kali and Isis, Isis was known as the great mother and blah, blah, blah. I was not. I was a child of God, told to become mother, and never grew up. I am the definition of Pan. Really? Yeah. So that's what you see, and that's where you see this. As I'm going through this shift, naturally, all my shadows come up, which is Lilith goes a motherfucking fool. Lilith don't want to grow up. And that's what we've been dealing with, is Lilith's fears. And mixed with Lisa's life experiences, just to set it all perfectly within the body of brewingness. So I've been doing a lot of transmuting, I can't even say the word. Transmitting of fucking energy. And I've been wore out. I've been in sleep chambers for like the last 24 hours. Seriously, unbelievable amounts of sleep. Realistically, yeah. And then today, I'm guided to dance. Really? Yep, I cleaned everything up. I need lots of room. I need to get this energy out. I need to exert it out of my chakras. I'm exploding. I'm actually almost bloated. Like, gotta do something with myself. So that's what's happening to me. What's happening with you? Now, let me tell you something. As I am the divine feminine energy that shifts, it shifts inside of me, but it shifts outside of me, and that's the energy shift. So we're going into a paradigm shift where we're shifting from adolescence to adulthood, spiritually. Spiritually, yes, and you can see the eloquence, as I love that word from folklore yesterday, the eloquence in the delivery and how we're stepping into or becoming more of our leadership role, our more responsible role, our more accountable role, our, well, that's for us. And for those of you that are not, we are becoming this for you, and you will too. And that's where it is we guide all of each other through the dark night of the soul. Yes, I'm the first one to do so. I will take you through this. But right now I'm going through a new level of shit on my own. All by myself. Leave me alone. Really? Yeah, I keep getting these enormous bursts of energy. Oh my god. Oh my god, Becky. And then, out of fucking nowhere, here comes... I was about to say Stewie. My Holy Spirit has a fucking nickname for every one of these weirdos. Yep, it calls that lady that has the weird leg problem, calls her limp dick. The way she drags herself. And it's like, yeah, limp dick, yeah, watch, let me show you how I drag my leg. She acts like she's dragging her dick around here. Everybody started laughing at that. My fucking... And then... Stewie. That bitch do look like Stewie. Hold on, bro. It's Frankie's mom. You have to go back to my videos like 2 months ago. I thought they got put out, or I thought they moved out. I don't even know, but they was out. Now Frankie's back, and she used to have this girl that used to come. It happened under a full moon ceremony. True story, bro. Fucking true story. Me and Morgan were doing a big-ass ceremony, and she has this friend that would pull up every day, and they would sit on the fucking porch, not right in front of the doorway, you guys. Right in front of the doorway, and drink all day long. And have Frankie... And I know his name because he's just a porker. I gotta take it. I feel like I don't like to put kids out there because these cute kids, dude, there's pedophiles and shit. I don't like to do that type shit. But they're so fucking cute. And his name is Frankie. And she said she was gonna take him for his birthday and all this shit. And she didn't. And I just didn't like their fucking asses. All of a sudden, I'm getting off the elevator yesterday. And here they all come. Now they've all been checked in. And I swear to God, if I lit a flame, the amount of alcohol that came off their breath, bro, we would have had a fire. Somebody would have had to... we would have had a fire drill. Like, oh God, here comes something to fucking irritate me. My next devil. It's like, didn't I get rid of you? I can't even look at them. How many times have I seen him? About 7. She's sitting outside currently in her pajama shorts and a tank top, and it's 27 fucking degrees out there. And she's got Frankie out there and strapped to his little rocket seat. And now the girl stays here too, so she's got her brand new baby, and they're just, party on, Ted. Party on, Bill. What the fuck? And I ain't trying to have no problems. God, you're messing with me, dude. You're telling me not to run away, and you're giving me every reason to run away. Seriously? Yeah. Just my outside world is irritating. Inside and outside. Really? Yeah, bro. It's just an irritating thing to my flesh. You people irritate me. What are you doing here? Who brought you back? Oh, God, now you... I feel for the children. But what the fuck? Sorry, I hate to be a cunt-ass. Sorry. I'm just me. That's just the way it is. Seriously? Yeah, I don't like those people. Why? I just told you. You just sit around drinking all day and they bother me just by that. God makes me want to... I told you. God, I hate you, God. Told you. I didn't want to deal with fucking addicts, and now they're just coming out the fucking woodwork. Woodworm. Oh, let's read that card. We haven't read those cards. Last night, we read in the Bible, in Revelations, he would turn the forest to woodworm. And I said, oh, I work with woodworm. Woodworm and mugwort are one of the best mix. I keep them... Actually, let's make some right now. Let's make some right now. And I'll tell you why. It's one of the best things for protection. I used to keep them in my purse, but I haven't, and I told you I was going to bring out my Motar and Pesto. These things, let me just, I'm going to read you all about them and shit. I should find the cards, too, and give you some pretty pictures. You want to picture me, Roland? I got to get the herbs, too. I'm a whole fucking witch. Hold on. Let me pull everything out of here. It's all really in here. Really? Yeah. Do you want me to put my cloak on while I do it, too? Be all magical? Seriously? Yeah. That's pretty cool, but it's not because it's buried so deep at the bottom of the bag in another box that we do not touch that I call Professor Snape's closet. Really? Yeah. First, we need the Motar. Chickadee check ourselves. Okay. Welcome to Witch Hood. Witch Hood, I don't know, west side until I die. Alright, let me dig it out. Woodworm's real thistly. It's like thistly. Oh, we talked about that last night. Who did we talk about that was from Thistly? Damn it. I can't remember. My brain is useless, but then it remembered somebody's name like Carlisle. Really? My brain is useless. What did I say last night about Thistly? It was a woman from Thistly. Damn. Don't even know where I was yesterday. Why? Because I'm not there right now. I'm trying to get herbs out. Something about Thistly, though. Fuck, I'll have to watch that video. I just remember saying something. Oh, you want to see my herbies? Nope, I've showed you a million times. I felt like I wasn't going to do this. God, I told you yesterday I wasn't going to do this. Hold on, I'll do it. Look, here's all my herbies. It's not really. These are just some of them, and they're dug in there. There's my ritual bag with ritual bags and more ritual bags and ritualistic shit. What's under there? That's the altar bag. That's Pandora's box. I'm a very organized fucking bitch. I told you, I'm trying to fight the fucking organization. Fight! Which is what? I don't know, OCD, they call it. Say it's a bad thing. Alright, what do we need? Is this it? Nope, this is white oak. We always need oak, though. Why? I'll tell you, we're learning herbs today, apparently. Fine, whatever. Oh, that smells good. I'm gonna get lost in here. I already know they're in little brown bags. And yet, everything in top of here is not in brown bags. Jesus Christ. You want to see all the herbs? I'm going to have to pull them out anyways to find these little... No, I'm not. I found the little brown bags. I still got to pull them out. What do you got? Broom tops. Meadowsweet. I couldn't find these anywhere else. A witch's burr. What is this? Not my favorite. What is this? Eucalyptus. You could lick this. Star anise. It's time for that, too. We're going to use some of that. I feel it. What else you got in here? All kinds of shit, bro. I just want to get to the ones in the little brown bags. Then we got all my candles and potions in here. What do we got here? Juniper? Hawthorn. We need that, too. It's that time. Damn it. I wasn't going to do... I'm lying. Juniper. We need those, too. Vervain? I don't know. Actually, put it on the side is what I said. Well, I know I need cinnamon. Do we need some sandalwood? No. We need some cinnamon. There it is. This shit is biz. Told you. Woodworm. Woodworm. It looks like everything, I don't know, it looks like the shit, it looks like hay, it looks like the shit that fucking horses stand on is what I think. Yeah, really? Now, for this, I'm gonna make something bigger, but I want you guys to understand it's 2 basic fucking ingredients that I'm trying to get you to start with, and then they got me started on some bullshit, right? So you could do a half and half, I guess, but if you're gonna burn it, no. No. And don't burn it in the house. With woodworm, or with mugwort, that is for astral projection. That's one of those herbs you use to contact deities, to go into the realms. So you have to use it very carefully. I always say that one comes with, you know, all kinds of warnings. But I'm not trying to get you to use it for divination. I'm trying to get you to use it for protection. Each of these things, you know what I mean? It's like different elements. I should have paid attention in fucking science. Still not the science guy. I said something about the mandrake root yesterday. Better throw some of that in there. I'm just going to show you, though, I'm trying to get the mugwort, and then I'll show you what I'm brewing up after. If you want to brew some better shit. Mugwort. Mugwort is real... mugwort. The ones in the brown bags come from, witchcraft stores. So I have different stuff that comes from different stores, but typically all of them that have all of that, there's the Isis bookstore. That's where I go for my herbs and my cards, because they're cheapest there. Really? Yeah. But, my sage I've been buying over, and my latest books I've been buying at the Lotus on Colorado Boulevard. Now, this shit is real funky. You see how it's like, it sticks together? I don't know how to explain it, but it's funky. And since the veil is open, that's why we're going to put it in there. Did you see? It's funky. It like sticks together. It's kind of like drier, that's what I'm saying. Like drier lint. It sticks together like drier lint. That's a good way to describe it. Indeed. Okay, so those alone, just those alone, mixed together and put in a little satchel, will ward off evil spirits. Really? Yeah. Really? Yeah. Super basic. I'm going to add a couple more things to this bitch, though. Why? Because I'm going to do apparently I'm making this for Halloween, Samhain, All Hallows Night. So I'm going to take some mandrake root. I'll explain these in a minute. I'm going to pull out the cards. Okay? And those are real, mandrake root is like a real thick stick. Really? Yeah. Thick ass stick. Alright, we're not gonna fuck with that. I don't really use too much eucalyptus. Actually, I'm lying. We use that in springtime. Hawthorn berries. This is for the Morgan. Always 3. Got it? Chickity check yourself. Alright. Juniper berries are always for the Isis. Always 3. All great things come in 3s. Chickity check yourself. And I guess I'm going to have to pull out all the motherfucking books that go with this. We're going to put in some white oak. None of this shit is going to brew properly, like burn nicely, if you don't put sage in it. Sage is one of those things that just burns so beautifully. It just burns up quickly. So that's why we use the sage. Really? Yeah, it's not going to burn, dude. It's like, you try to burn all those woods. Put a bunch of wood with nothing under it and try to see if it'll burn. Now, I was over at Morgan's house, and she uses a torch because she does dabs, and that was so fucking helpful. I was like, I think I might need to get one of these. We're going to use a star anise. These will pop, like when the fire, like they're seeds, so they like pop real big. They'll make sparks in the fire. They're very potent too. I feel like I'm supposed to put some of these out here. Oh, they stink. They don't really. It smells like Christmas and fucking pumpkin spice and shit. We're using this for Metatron. Really? I know that because I use nutmeg in my car for him. So we're going to put 2 of these stars out here, and then I'll put some seeds in the thing so I don't have to break them up. They're hard to break up. Really? Yeah, there's seeds in there. There's little seeds in there. We're going to put some of these down for the season. And I'm going to take some broken shit on the bottom. How much? I don't know, just a couple seeds. Enough. How many do you think? See? What do we got? 3. Ta-da! How do you know? I don't know. I'll tell you in a minute what we've just brewed. I don't remember. Meadow Sweet. Just a little pinch. Again, they all look like fucking horse manure or the shit that horses be walking on. Some of it's pretty flammable. We don't use the witch's brew. I only had 2 of them when I purchased them. And some broom tops. Really? Yep. And I'll tell you what we made. Dun, 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 dun. I gotta put all this shit up though, because I have OCD and I can't just leave it like this. I don't know about the vervain. I'll find out why we pulled it out in a minute, but I'm not supposed to put it in there. Really? Nope. Nope and nope. I have my white and black candle. I have my twine. Do I need any of my oils? Divination, Seers, Ancestors, Dark Moon. No. I have the Dark Moon, but there's something else in there. Something dark. I don't know. Let me put all this shit up. Candles, tea bag, metals. Alright. And then what are we going to do with that? I'm going to brew it all up. Roll it up in a piece of paper, which is... Actually, this is... What did I say it was? Recycled something? What is this? From Costa Rica. It's homemade paper. Recycled paper from Costa Rica. So pretty much we're just Getting exciting. Alright, hold on. I didn't plan on doing this, obviously, but I am so prepared for this bullshit. That's how it be, too. It's like, oh. I didn't really know I was going to sit around and do that. But I said yesterday, I was like, oh, come on, dude. I don't want to do another teaching on the fucking herbs. I do this shit all the motherfucking time. Well, we're going to teach on just the herbs that I put in. Does anybody remember what I put in there? That's where it gets real funny. Let me put out the book. Okay, I'm going to pull out this book and give you some cards. But first, I need to pull out this book because they're not all in there. Which is Book of Shadows? Nope. There we go. I went straight to it. Magical herbs. Alright, so we put in anise. These licorice-scented seeds can be stuffed into a small pillow to ward off nightmares. They also avert the evil eye. Right? Ward off nightmares. What else do we put in that bitch? Let's see. Brooms. This was Druid's sacred tree. Folklore says to burn the blossoms to calm the wind. That's good, because it's not cold outside other than that fucking wind. Did we put any cedar? Nope, we did not. Cinnamon! I didn't put any. I know I needed to. Why didn't I put cinnamon? Because it's in my other bag. It's in my I have it right here. I have different ritual bags with different shit in them. Every single one of them has herbs. I have fucking white sage in my purse right now. And not to mention all the shit I have in my car. I always carry herbs. More than candles, if anything. It's in here. I need to throw some cinnamon chips. I like the chips. They come in all different kinds of ways. Some of them are powders. Fuck. It's gonna take me forever to go through these ones now, too. What do you got in here? All kinds of shit. Oh, we didn't put no rosemary either. I saw that yesterday in my third eye. Rosemary. Why? I'll tell you in a minute. I'll tell you in a minute, fucker. I need the cinnamon, though. That's what I was going for. Cinnamon. These ones? I thought I had other ones. Are these other ones? Nope. Are these other ones? They must be in that bag. But I do have cinnamon. I have some. These are more like powders. I have these little chips, though. Those are cool. I don't know where they are, though. Cinnamon. Chickadee check? Okay. Alright. I wouldn't be a witch if I wasn't teaching you this shit, I suppose. Now you'll see I'm not brewing up a boyfriend. Or $1 million. What is it? Always protection and healing, guys. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. These people are coming in and they got bad karma and bad energy and fucking bad juju and the devil's out to get, God's out to get them, and God protect the children. Or at least us that are standing in the way of this shit. Jesus Christ. Alright, cinnamon, check. This ancient herb has a wide variety of magical uses. Burn it to attract the very highest spirits, heal and stimulate clairvoyance. A mixture of cinnamon and myrrh makes a wonderful all-purpose incense. It also attracts prosperity. Well, I'll make sure to do that too. Cloves, we didn't put any in, but I typically do. Deity of Crete, nope. Frankincense, nope. Hawthorn. Make an infusion of hawthorn blossoms and bloom near the 1st of May. It'll purify anything it sprinkles upon. Folklore says that the blossoms have the highly erotic scent that affects men. Ooh. Ooh. That's fun. Moving on. What else did we put in there? Juniper. Folklore says the holy tree in the North Europe mixed with thyme and add a divination or trance incense. A string of berries can be hung to attract love. Oh, well, maybe I am. I don't know what I'm doing around here. Meadowsweet. This is one of the most sacred druid herbs, along with the wild mint and vervain. Okay. Okay, I'll put it in there. It's at the bottom of the barrel now. Why are we pulling all these druids? Did you hear my daughter interrupt my story, my video yesterday talking about the druids? She said that they would hunt them and kill them for their bone marrow. They believed their bone marrow was how they got their visions. It's not in my bones, idiot. We'll put some vervain in there. Oh, somebody remember we put that in there too. Just kidding. Really? Mm-hmm. We're working with the druids. Dun, 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 dun. Told you, that's what the oak is. We haven't got there yet. Holly, Irish, nope, Juniper, marigold, meadowsweet, oh yeah. Sprinkle around the house ritual areas to attract blessings from the gods. Mugwort. This herb can be added to incense for scrying with crystal balls. Do you see anything in that ball? Or magic mirror, divination, and strengthening psychic powers. Its powers are strongest when picked on the full moon. Gather it on summer solstice for good luck. What else did we put in there? Peppermint? Nope. Pine. Rosemary. The needles of this shrub were used in religious ceremonies of many ancient cultures. Its power against evil influences of any kind. Add to incense or bathwater for purification, cleansing, exorcism, love, and clear thinking. We haven't added the sage, but we will. Although now associated with Native American practices, this herb has other connections also. Use it to in healing and prosperity spell bags and incense. Hang it over a door to repel ill fortune. I didn't put any sandalwood, but I question it. Did we put any thistle? Nope. Vervain. Sometimes called vervain or verbena, the herb of enchantment, used in spells for cleansing, purification, love, protection. Make an infusion of leaves and sprinkle it around the house for areas for exorcism. Grow plants in your garden for steady flow of money. Burn it in incense to defend against psychic attacks. What else did we use? Woodworm. This is an addictive and poisonous herb if eaten or swallowed. Okay, don't digest this shit. It has a long history of being burned in incense for prophecy, divination, and astral projection. Well, that's where I was all day. I was sitting in front of a fireplace. Really? Yeah, I was here. I did all my morning shit. But mentally, I saw myself in front of a fireplace. That's where I was. Alright, that's just some of them. Alright, yes? Okay, now I'll get you some pretty little pictures to go with some shit. How did you do this? I don't know. I told you, it's my inner... I don't know. I've always bought them. I didn't buy them all together, like just go crazy. I was always guided to buy them, and I never really fully know what I'm doing with them until I looked it up, but I don't question it either. I know. I've had to buy them for different things, and I don't use them all at the same times. I'm just guided. I'll be like, oh, grab that bag and do this. And it's always like that around full moons. We're approaching, or around ceremonies and shit, holidays, all of that. So what I'm doing is, this is just typical shit that I should be doing for a holiday. Because when the actual holiday comes, just like everyone else, we have to sit and enjoy it. So we do all of our full moon ceremony. I don't know who... Maybe they get together on a full moon. I got kids and a family. What the fuck are you doing? I do my work before that and enjoy the celebrations with the family. No, nobody cooks under the full moon with me. But that's what I'm kind of saying. You know what I mean? Alright, now I gotta find those cards. Those are in a whole different deck. A whole different storage. I'm kind of... Yeah. Then there's the storage of the decks. I just did that last week. These ones... I haven't pulled them out forever. This is going to be a long teaching. You better just pull up a chair and grab a snack. Really? Well, I mean, even if I just read the basics. Where are those bitches? Oh, they're in a 2-pack. That's what they're saying. This one? Yep. Okay, they're with my ISIS cards. Go figure. Alright, now I've made a mess. Not really. It's just not... I don't like it. Up over there. Okay. Let's see what we can pull out of the deck. That's not the right deck. Get out of my face. So, let's see. Poppy. We used oak. We didn't use holly, vine, belladonna. We used mandrake. I didn't see that in that list. That was just a list. They don't list them all. That's why I said they're not going to find them all in here. Willow, thistle, ivy, woodworm. I didn't put any lavender, but I have plenty in my car. Cannabis? Nope, we didn't add any of that. Dandelion. Yeah, see? That's why we went through there. Because there's only a few cards in here. And I'm probably the only idiot that bought this pack. Really? Mm-hmm. People buy cards to do divination and shit. They don't do what I do. So in my herbs class, this would be, and I have other ones where this is necessary. You know what I mean? When people are just dabbling in shit, And I just want to point out, all I can see is Jupiter right there. When people are just dabbling in shit, they're just, you know, there's no real purpose behind it. So like working with the herbs, unless you're constantly working with deities, or you're constantly doing cleansings, or you're, you know what I mean, there's no reason to sit out and, you know what I mean, do this type of shit. And people they'll go and pretend like they're all hardcore on it for like a week or two, just like a gym habit or something like that. All right, and then of course we pulled out number 17. Get on my face. Where did I turn to? 18. Moonflower. I turned to number 17, and right to the end. What does it say? To the north, we call the element of earth in the great below, and we call the green spirit of wisdom. We call the bane mandrake, root of love, death, and wisdom. Which one are we talking about? This one? We call the bane mandrake, root of love, death, and wisdom. Mandragora of the midnight screams that brings madness. Whisper the scream of the deep earth to us. Hail and become. Affirmation. I am a magical creature capable of anything. So these are really deep. Let me just show you. We're starting with number 17. It has a great big picture of it. And I don't stare at the cards, but they're really deep. People put in a lot of work into the artwork of a lot of my cards. But it tells you right away what we're dealing with. And since we've learned right away it tells you if it's toxic. But it tells us what energies, since we've learned our planetary energy, focus, I don't know, whatever. We know what we're dealing with. So we're dealing with Venus, right? So, and it's actually shown on the card. Just as, you see all this? If you know how to read the symbols, and we're learning that with Metatron. And then right there probably is some kind of, what the fuck does that say? We call upon, it's an invocation. And then there's some, you know what I mean? There's some really cool details right here. Do you see it? Ugh. There it goes. There's so much hidden in the picture. What are these? Remember from Harry Potter, where they pull them out and they reroot them? They're screaming. Okay, let's move on. Let's see. It tells you all about the magical meaning of it. It tells you about the spirit medicine. Then it tells you the divination meaning and the reverse. Okay, so let's just start with this. As a plant spirit, mandrake is the prominent teacher of witches, being the most human of baneful herbs. Mandrake can act as a guide and a teacher in magic, initiating us onto the crooked path and to meet the witch goddess and the god. In spiritual healing, the flower essence is used to heal issues around power, particularly around abuse of sorceress power. As in cases where we have used power to unnecessarily harm or others have harmed us with magic. Mandrake can also help us find an appropriate blend of spirituality, magic, and sexuality, and find empowerment through seemingly transgressions against mainstream society or breaking with expectation. Divination meaning. Mandrake calls us to walk the path of magic, the path of the witch, and seek the mysteries in the hidden and dark places, embracing who we really are. Ask yourself how you are using your magic you have. The mandrake is the greenwood sorcerer, aligned with the wisdom of the gallows, the hangman's mysteries. The depths of the earthly grave to the reborn. The mandrake makes the sign of the sorcerer with both hands and reminds us of the witch's power to both bless and curse, while also offering protection from such cursings. Reverse meaning. Inverted, mandrake tells us that we might be delirious or unrooted and not seeing things clearly or acting in the right way for us. So, obviously, it's the initiation into magic, obviously. For those of you that I haven't taught I teach a bunch of magic over here, all kinds of it. And it's understanding. You mix together the herbs with the understanding of what this is, and you put your intentions. It's like, what do I want? So now you know what all of this is. And it's always my true intentions. I want to cast out what's not for me and call in more of what is. But in that, you're calling in new challenges, new love, new adventures, new this and that. And I'm going through a flush. Alright, so let's go on to, what was the next one? The oak. The mighty oak. He's the king. And there's his, you see the acorn right there? Or the, ta-da! Yep, and I have them in the car too. Alright, let's move on to the oak. Jupiter, sun. Elements are air and earth. Okay? Let's see. Spirit medicine. The spirit of the oak tree teaches us when to stand tall and true without yielding, when our inflexibility is simply a sign of stretching beyond our current capabilities. We must adapt to survive. While the oak king is the epitome of strength and vigor, he also knows when it's time in a cycle to yield to the holly king to keep the balance. Oak helps us only take on what is ours and ours to take on, not to take on so much that we are overwhelmed and break. Divination meaning. While in a reading, the oak indicates strength, protection, good fortune in the current undertaking. The situation looks good for success, and you will have a support to go forward. Within the branches of the oak is the cardinal, the bird of rejuvenation, hope, and energy. Climbing the trunk is the squirrel, the animal of preparation, hard work, and fall. Preparing for the cold winter through the gathering of the acorns. The Oak King himself stares at you directly, armored and ready to face the challenges ahead on while reaching sustainably for both the heavens and the depths of the earth. The oak stands between the world as the sacred tree of the ancient Druids. It is still honored today by most modern descendants. And that's really what it is, like there was always a tree of life for every culture. Divination meaning. When the oak is inverted or reversed, you should consider withdrawing from any responsibilities or projects that are too much of a burden before you break. This is not a time to be inflexible, but to compromise and know your limit. Let someone else shoulder the burden for a time. Affirmation: I know my strength. And then there's the woodworm. There should have been mugwort. Why wasn't mugwort in here? I'm sure it is. Hold on. Mugwort should be in here. Wolfsbane, holly. Mugwort should be in here. Really? Lavender. Why isn't it in here? Maybe it's this one. I'm going to check it out. Number 30. Witch's Garden. Number 33. Alright, Mars, Pluto, and the Moon. Oh, there's some Scorpio energy. Element is fire. Alright, spirit medicine. The spiritual power of woodworm is very useful for dealing with obsessions, helping us purify our energy and release any attachments we have from other people or other spirit entities. And that's what it is. I'm detaching. I'm moving away from those timelines. I am so moving away from Adam and Lucifer and all that madness. If I'm taking on the Kali, then I'm stepping into Shiva. I'm more, yes. You guys didn't evolve. You guys are just so the same. Woodworm adds a fire to our aura, granting purification and protection, allowing us to drop toxic habits and people. Woodworm is one of the key ingredients of the liquor absinthe, known as the Green Fairy. It is credited with granting poetic inspiration and the mysteries of life and death through the psychoactive essential oil, though its attributes are a bit poetically exaggerated. Divination meaning. Woodworm will appear when we need to purge and protect ourselves from toxic forces. I told you, woodworm and mugwort, they'll stay the fuck away from you. Ranging from the simple pests to more poisonous serpents in our lives, woodworm urges you to put your energy into our active boundaries. I pulled that yesterday. The only card I saw that was there was pull up your Seven of Wands, keep your strength, and you'll end up happy. Really? Active boundaries and speak out when they are being crossed by others. With this vitality reserved for ourselves rather than the parasitical forces of our life, we have renewed connection to our inspiration, our muse, taking from here as the green fairy of the woodworm. butterfly winged, inspiring the musicians and offering the cup, yet famed in the sword of truth and the skulls of morality and rebirth. Can I get a witness, bro? Say it again, bro. Butterfly winged, inspiring the musician and offering the cup of love, yet framed with the truth of the sword of truth and the skulls of mortality and the rebirth. What songs are we called to compose, to sing? I can't wait for your fucking next release, Russ. God likes a joyful soul, bro. He likes you to sing his praises from the highest mountains, bro. He wants your people to sing his praises. He don't want this, bro. He don't want you out there drunk, crying, praising some fucking, I'm seeing Ali's music or everybody's music, bro. God damn it. God damn you for the shit that comes out of your mouth and put on our radio waves and sung out of my children's mouths. I feel very holy in that moment. I spent all day searching all day through time and space, downloading the most beautiful fucking music to give you the best vibes. And don't get me wrong, when I'm in my dark vibe, you know what's up. You get that West Coast, you get that gangster rap. But essence, all day, it's about a good vibe. You ain't never had a good vibe, motherfuckers. You wouldn't know a good vibe if it invited you, put you in the car, took you on the vibe, and brought you back. You wouldn't even know it was a good vibe if I took you on one. The saying is, if it hits you in the face, bro, I'll take you to outer space and you still won't know. What song are you called to compose, Ali? What song are you called to compose, Logic? What song are you called to compose, Eminem? What song are you called to compose, fucking Russ, Royce, Bruno? Go fuck yourselves. Jesus, Mike Stud. Ugh, there's a masturbator. What songs are we called to compose, to sing? Follow the passion and don't let anything get in your way. Reversed. Woodworm Reverse calls upon the Green Fairy and asks you to seek inspiration and insight in the madness and poetry, looking between the gates of life and death to see things differently. Stop telling it from your hurt feelings. Here comes Russ with his, I wanna talk about my hurt feelings. Don't you pay a fucking therapist for this shit? God. Anyways, moving on. Daddy Yankee put out a fucking album, praise God, appraisal album. I don't know what they call that. It's not Christian music, but a praising album to God. I don't know. My Spanish isn't that good, but it's got a good vibe, I would imagine. He always puts out that good vibe. I'm sure he's not on his knees crying in his albums. I'm sure he's not slapping a girl's butt cheek or anything like that. I know he don't drink. You guys are pathetic. Express your insights through... Going back to you, Bri. Do I need to get on your page and see what you're talking about in your 42 years of music? Come on, man. The fuck is your latest song? You guys. If you could just die and be reborn, you'd have something better to talk about. You're so stuck in your hurt feelings. Oh, I can't wait for Taylor Swift's new album. She's full of love. She's gonna have some great songs to sing about. We're all gonna want to sing about being in love. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Express your insights through words, song, and art. You may be reveling in toxic behaviors or relationships yourself, or be enchanted by your own obsessions. These are your obsessions, Frankie J and all. I feel it. Really? Yeah. I don't understand why mugwort wasn't in there. I'm gonna go back to this. Hellsborough. I'm not saying that word. That's a bad word. What does it say? Niger? Conjure Malkul. What is this? Hermlock is one of the most dangerous of witches' herbs. What is it? Magically, it should be used with great care. What is it? Where are you? You know, I'd read these and then I'd go into stores and ask for these very toxic, dangerous, we don't sell that type shit. They look at me all funny. I went looking for all of them. Hey, you know where I could find? I'm like a white girl in the fucking corner looking for crack. I go into these spiritual stores, and they're all fucking full of light, and I'm asking about the dark shit that you can't get over the counter. In May. But I didn't have a house. Oh, I will. Ooh, yes. I will then. In May, Ritualcraft, and it's a witchcraft store. They host this thing where you can buy the plants. They have a plant sale. You can't buy it, but you could buy the plants. But they take so much care, and I don't know how to care for a plant. I don't. I have a Jericho rose in my car. That's pretty much a tumbleweed that you can add water to and it comes back to life. I don't know if I have what it takes to keep alive these animals, these plants. I do have a book down there. I told you we're going to grow spiritually enlightened herbs. Aside from weed. Really? Yeah, there's this book I have. Something the Longhorn. And it's a long book, and I think it should be easy to see, but I can never see it. Maybe it's this book. What's this? No, this is a trigger book about your father issues. Let's save that for a deep, dark night of the soul. Spiritual evangelist. Where is that book, God? It's a long book. I remember it being... Is this it? No, the witch's wing. I have a book. Oh, it's behind all the books. I see you, you bastard. Let me show you this bastard. I got it before I went to Oklahoma. But I didn't read one page when I was there. Finehorn Garden. Pioneering New Vision in Man. What does this talk about? Spiritually enlightened fucking fruits and vegetables. Seriously? Yeah, let me see if I can find an intro to make it really funny. Oh, I told you. When radiant energy pervades and gives rise to one radiant energy pervades and gives rise to all life. While it may speak to us through plants, nature spirits, or human beings with whom we share life on this planet, all are reflections of deep reality behind and within them. Mirror has become reality in the Finehorn. I have that downstairs. That's twice they mentioned it. I need to add that. Really? Yes. Finehorn Garden. Not to present us with a new form of spiritualism, but to offer us new vision of life and a vision of unity. Essentially, the devas and natural spirits are aspects of our own selves, guiding us to our true identity, the divine reality within. The true story of the garden is to celebrate this divine life in its myriad forms. May the joy we experience in participating in the celebration deepening our commitment to revealing the total beauty of ourselves and life all around us. What is this about? I'm not sure. This book is an expression of love and energy of the entire Finehorn family, except for the final printing. What is this? I read it somewhere. The people of Finehorn understand the place of technology in nature, and if they forget, the elves will soon let them know that the human parking lots are stepping on their toes. Modern man knows how to talk back to nature, but he does not know how to listen. Archaic man, knew how to listen to the wind, water, flower, and tree, angel, and elf. All the archaic creatures, Tibetan, Hopi, Sufi, Celtic, are returning because they contain the very consciousness we need for the present and future. The planetarization of the archaic creatures is coming at a time when it is desperately needed if we are going to evolve beyond the crisis of industrial civilization. Cultural evolution is not being left to religion and the humanities. It is being led by religion. It is being led by religion and humanities. And in evolution, the evolution, flexibility, risk-taking, and generalized adaptability count for more than bigness and strength. There is a weakness to bigness and power, and all the little creatures have returned to tell us that. The giant aerospace companies of Rama, Los Angeles, or Sony's Tokyo are in trouble. Once the great apes chased out, I'm seeing weird downloads, chased us out of the trees into the dangerous savannas, we were unable to swing unhappily where the great apes gibbered. I don't know. And so the spiral history turns. As we move away from industrial society, we come close to animalism and pre-industrial cultures, where it is an American Indian or an Orabai or a scholar gentleman in the Georgian flat Einsberg. It is the vision that belongs to us, our future as well as our past. If we had taken our Shakespeare seriously, we might have not traveled halfway around the world to discover the truth of Ariel's song. And then it goes on to a song. What is this about? Man Creates the Garden, Part 1. It goes back to the land. We haven't got our land yet, but we will. And it talks about, think about it this way, guys. When your grandma or somebody cooks you a dinner, they put their heart and soul into it. And nobody can make it like they did. We're going to put our heart and soul into the ground. And it will never taste, nobody else's food will taste like our food. It's not just about being organic. It's about being cared with love. That's what I was saying. I don't know if I can raise a plant yet. They take a lot of love. I was seeing DMX. He had a affinity to the orchid. And he says it. He's like, I thought that it needed the best this and the best that, and that's not what it needed. They're an actual living organism that occupy your space, and they transmute energy. It's a conversation. They don't leave, but they still are there to tell you everything. They're connected. And if they're in the ground, you know what I mean? And that's why being outside allows you to connect with so much stuff. Where is it coming from? Literally the plants. They have life force. And they're transmuting energy. Everything that you put your eyes on, you're connecting your eyes to things. And then you're getting an energetic connection. Really? Mm-hmm. That's why we were talking about yesterday. Don't put your eyes upon the things of this world, but upon God. And that's how it is. It's like, how did you see that eagle? I was drawn to it. And it's like, why are you staring at it? We're having a connection. It's not of this world. I'm getting information. We're converting, but not of this world. And that's really what it is. If an alien is standing in front of me and he's not moving, and he only stands there, and I stand there for 15 minutes, and we just stand there staring at each other, though it looked as nothing happened, do you think nothing was happening? He just stood there for nothing? That nothing was happening? I teach you that in the nothing, everything happens. So that's what it means, is to be connected. You go into the woods, and as I told you about all these sacred, you know what I mean? Thistle grows out there, pine, all of it. I told him I needed some juniper. I have the berries, but not my favorite smell is the actual, you know what I mean? They're not leaves, they're thistles. And they're like, well, no, but you could go outside, because they grow all over in Colorado. I just don't recognize them. I actually kind of do. I should know them. And that's really what it is like you connect with all of this. It's ancient and has power. So just being out there, that's like if you sit in the smoke, dude. If we hotbox you in a bunch of weed smoke, bro, you're gonna feel some kind of way. You're gonna have some visions. You're gonna have some kind of side effects. You go outside and you have all kinds of side effects. You're sitting there and a squirrel passes by, and it changes your thought pattern. You're not watching it because you're just staring. You don't watch your mind like I do. But stuff like that. all these little interactions with the outside world. And I spoke of Noah yesterday. Why did God keep the creatures? He put himself into them. He is in all things, and he put it in all forms so he could experience, you know what I mean? He has no form. God has no form. So he put himself in all forms. Really? Mm-hmm. And so it goes back to the story, the beginning of the Bible. There was nothing but darkness. That's where I'm from. There was nothing but darkness. And then he spoke light. And he created the universe. And then he created the earth. And then he created the animals. He put himself into everything. He put himself into everything. He was the light. He is the light. That's what I try to tell you. He's just this light, this impeccable light. Even when it's absolutely dark, you could close your eyes, close the room, everything. You can still see speckles of light. He's there. He's everywhere. So he put himself in everything, right? He put himself in the universe. And then after he made the universe, and he saw that it was good, and everything was good, so he's like, all right, I'll take all of this, and now I'll make it into this. Right? So Earth has the elements of all the planets, right? There are moonstones, there are gems, there are, I'm seeing the periodic table of elements. Jesus, that's such science, I don't remember. Well, we need one of those, I guess. He put himself in all of the elements, right? So science loved the elements of what the planet is made of. The gases, the fibers, the this, the that, the this and that, right? He made all of that, and he saw that it was good. So he put all of that into the earth, and he saw that it was good. And he put it into the planet, into the animals, and he saw that it was good. So he decided to put himself in the image of, himself, into man. And there they was. Genesis, chapter 1, verse 27. And he made man and woman, and he made them, and they were good. After this, he took a day off. He created the whole universe in 6 days, and on the 7th day he rested. Then all of a sudden, in the book, man is all alone, and he's got to get back to work. He took 1 day off, and these motherfuckers. What happened to the girl? Where's your woman? What happened? What'd you do? I tried to have sex with her. She wouldn't listen. What? What's wrong with you people? No, he told us to multiply. That's what he said. Go, be fruitful and multiply. He did what he was told. I didn't. I didn't do what Adam said. Because Adam said. I didn't listen to Adam. I listened to God. I'm Lilith. I don't listen to anyone but God. You have no authority. You have no power. There's me and there's God. I am God in the female form. You can have no authority to me over God. Jesus doesn't stand between me and God. Nothing stands between me and God. It's me and God. Always has. Always will. Always. There's nothing between us. Man was severed from the voice of God long after Adam's family. I didn't. Nope. And nope. Anyway, so that's where the whole story goes back to. What the fuck are we talking about? Oh, and then, man polluted the earth with ungodly people. It wasn't good. Everything else was good, but man wasn't good. So he took the people. He took Noah, and he told Noah to get all the animals, all that was good. Because he was going to clean up all that was bad. Which was what? Mankind. They had polluted the earth. They had no respect for the animals. They had no respect for what God had created. And that's where it is. They defiled the creation of God, which was nothing more than the land we live on. And that's where it goes back to this, you know what I mean? It's like you guys don't realize what you know what I mean? Like, down to the Venezuelans that I live with, bro. They're so fucking trashy. They throw... Last night they served spaghetti. And there was spaghetti thrown all over the fucking walkways. There was spaghetti in the elevators. There was spaghetti plates on each of the floors. meaning the kids grabbed them from the, kitchen area and just ate them wherever and left them wherever and dropped them wherever and just everywhere. They didn't take them to their homes and eat them or anything. They're all over the fucking building. We have the strongest fucking housekeeping that they actually pay for an outside team to come in, and they work here 6 days a week, and they work so fucking hard. They are absolute Cinderellas. Most of them are men, and it has to be men to do this big ass job, and it's unreal. That's what they do here in our building, bro. I can't imagine what they do outside. And I used to do construction cleanup, right? And the shit that was out there, it's like you're working out here and did you know that these construction workers, they've got to eat and shit. They bring their own microwaves. They bring all this shit and they just dump it at the site. And then they call people in like us to pick up all this shit before they start, showing the houses or putting down grass or, the final shit. These fucking people are just, the amount of alcohol bottles that are at a construction site is unreal. It is unreal. It is so common. Like, they drink and work. It is I don't understand the OSHA about this. But I swear to God, I've never seen, they drink on their break. They drink while they're leaving. They drink while they're working. It's like they don't drink water at work. It's beer. All different kinds. Are you serious? Yeah, I swear to God, bro. People just don't respect what God's earth. And that's where it is you can get back to Eden if you just get out of the street. Like, if you can find a little piece of heaven. It doesn't have to be big. And now you're right back connected. You're in the grass with God's living creature. You're back in God's green earth. I keep smelling all kinds of smells. Somebody's cooking or something. I keep smelling all kinds of food smells. Really? All kinds of them. Somebody's cooking up all kinds of shit. I'm like the only person that doesn't have a hot plate. Why didn't you? I don't know. There was times I thought about buying it. There was times I didn't. Perhaps I shall. I'm like the only person that don't be really cooking. But that's why we have all those fucking fire alarms too. Because they be all fucking cooking up all kinds of shit. Oh my God, Becky. They told me last week. I had the hugest laugh about it. She's all, these fucking people, they put a turkey on the table and slid it across. Why don't you just take it through the metal detector? I mean, it probably weighed a lot. But where did you put a turkey? We all have mini fridges. How are you cooking a turkey in your fucking room? I'm so confused. Yeah, they be doing some shit, but at the same time, you wonder why we have fucking cockroaches, bro. I'm very grateful because I got on it, and I don't see them that much. He comes now, and I am really grateful. I've probably seen, that's what I told him, I was like, I've maybe seen 4 in a week, opposed to the fucking shit I was running from in the middle of the night. So, but yeah, they're just fucking filth-ass people, bro. And that type of shit makes you want to go crazy in a person's face. And like I did, and tell them you're fucking pigs, and you roll around in trash, and your kids are fucking trash, and you don't know no better, and how could you fucking, nobody should have respect for you. I'm the type, I've said it. I say it to people's faces. I've lost it quite a few times in a motherfucker's face over some shit like this. For real. But I'm not completely innocent because I throw my cigarette butts out my window. Really? Not all the time, but I do. I'm not completely innocent. Really? Yeah. But, so that's where it is. It's like, the land has God in it. God is in all the land. So all of this, there's all kinds of God in there. We're going to roll that shit up and burn it and pray. And that's all we do. And that's what it said, too. I read that in the Bible, is they brought the incense of, I think it was myrrh again. It was all in the Bible yesterday. I have it all in my car, so really what I'll do is just probably put it all in there, mix it all up and shit, roll it up and walk around the building. I can't burn it like this in my ashtray because unless I had, one of those little torch lighters to keep burning it, it wouldn't stay lit. So I have to roll it up in a paper to keep it burning down. The paper will make it continue to burn. So that's very old school to me. I write on the paper my prayer, and then I put a pin in it, and then I burn it. So that's what I'm going to do, but I'll have plenty of extra, you can see. And I'll sit here grinding this shit. It'll take forever to grind that shit down, especially the star anise. You hear it? Yep. So that's what we did. I taught you some magic. Welcome to magic. Magical herbs, the witch's garden. And yeah, I have all kinds of them, and the one thing I use most is my fucking sage. I use all kinds of sage. If I'm not using anything else, I'll add stuff to it, but basically first thing in the morning, just sage. Mostly, if I'm just sitting there, just sage, unless it's, you know, I feel inclined, but I have a certain amount of stuff in the car that I add to it. What's in there? The myrrh, the frankincense, some styrex, eyebright, I don't know. I just bought nutmeg. There's all kinds of shit in there, bro. There's all kinds. You could pull out any of my bags and find some weird herbs and fucking shit in there. And typically some fucking sage, for sure. Keep sage all over the place. And that's what it's for. You heard what all of them are for, and I have many, many more. So yeah, it's something to work with if you want to be pulled into a green witch, into herbology. And it's just another way of divination. You don't have to use cards and shit like that. You just bring the spirits in with the use of the incense. And that's why I was like, I could just go buy an incense, and it's a power stick. You know what I mean? But I brew my own because I mix the powers, right? And sometimes I buy incense and just break them in and move them into this type shit too. But incense are easily I call them magic sticks for real. They already have the power in them. You just, before you light it, you think about it and you go for it. And then there's the oil burners. So like I have a kaifi oil. You're not supposed to use that for anything but burn it in the room while you're doing rituals. And that's the same with frankincense or myrrh and stuff. You'd burn it in the room. They're doing Dia de los Muertos was what they pulled up yesterday, and that would be the same thing. You light the candles in front of the pictures. You make food offerings of their favorite food. So if your grandma wore... My mom, anytime we think about my mom, it's Chanel number 5. Chanel number 5? Yup. And then later I got the Coco Chanel for her. I tried to change her, but that was her favorite scent. So if I ever wanted... Today's her birthday, as I say this. You know what I mean? In honor of my mom, I could go to, one of the department stores and just spray myself with it. If I didn't have, or if I wanted to buy it, that would be something you would go. You wouldn't leave it at a graveyard because someone would steal it. You would spray it. And I'm going to be honest, I have a male spray, a male's cologne. It is my favorite cologne for men. And I have it in my, I keep it for sometimes when I just want, I don't know. It's sexy when I just want the masculine smell, the feel of a man around me. I have it. What is it? I'm not going to tell you because it's like a love potion for me. Like, oh my God. I smell it in places where guys walk by like, It's very old school. They remade it. They rebranded it and called it something different. And that's what I like about it. It's like the original one was just fine. Going back to that, so yeah, fragrances, stuff like that, their favorite foods, you know what I mean? Play their favorite music, stuff like that. That's what you're supposed to do at a funeral. So it's the same thing. It's a celebration of their life. You're not supposed to be all mourning and sad and shit. If I knew, that's where it was like, I watched the other day, I learned how my mom made her her chicken fried rice. I never knew how she made it. My rice would always come out gummy. I didn't know it was rice used from the next night. And that makes sense. Why? Because she would make fucking SOS with the rice the night before. What do we do with the rice after we have leftover rice? Fried rice. It makes sense. I could never figure out how to make the rice not gummy. My brother taught me how she made her fried potatoes. My fried potatoes would always be mushy. I didn't know how to make them where they wouldn't mushy. He taught me how to make her fried potatoes. I just didn't pay attention. The kitchen was a scary place for me. Because I remember her, smoking dope in the kitchen. I didn't go in the kitchen. That sound of the kitchen fan is the most triggering sound to me. If a bathroom has it, I can't. I'm still working through the trauma of that noise. But I didn't watch her. But she was known for these foods, They would always talk about her turkey, her potato salad, her deviled eggs. She made great food. I didn't pay attention while she was making it, even though I was there every fucking time making it with her. Isn't that sad, though? Stuff like that. So that's like an honoring of the dead, and that's what we do. That's what Halloween is about. You know what I mean? The veil is the thinnest, and you can contact those on the other side. Stuff like that. All witchy. We're going all witchy. Might as well put on my... It's too cold. It's too cold to put on my dress and all that. It's too cold. That's it. I'm going through a purge. I'm transmuting into my newest timeline, and I'm letting go, and I can feel the letting go. And I'm also just like, that's what it is. It's like, you would almost think you're going through a state of depression where you just don't have energy. You can't get out of bed. I'm up, and I'm great. I took a shower. I did my hair. I got all pretty, and then you sit there, and you're like, oh, fuck, I can't do much more. And then you just have to rest so that you can have energy to do something. It's kind of how it works. It's like, fuck. So what I'm going through right now, I'm going through a super purge. I've done these enough to know, you know what I mean? But sometimes you'll be like checking, you know, maybe I need some iron. Maybe I need, you know, that's where I was. I was like, I need some more milk and shit in my life and shit. Try to eat more vegetables if you feel that you're getting, you know, fatigued. And that's just it. It's like normally, but you can't always expect your, you know, you can't expect to have, that's what everyone expects. You want it to be normal about some shit. You expect your normal progress, your normal, you know, you should have a steady progress. But in essence, that just means you're not shifting or changing or anything like that. If you're, I'm seeing data sheets, and I'm seeing Formula One. If they're not constantly tuning it and changing it, then yeah, the sheets never change. It's the same shit. But that's what they're always trying to do, is maximize their performance. Right? So you're always looking at it like, you know, we should have done better. That's fucking Lewis all the fucking time. And then here comes Kobe, and it's like, you know, not today. I was like, it's okay. Today we just didn't have it in us, guys. Today wasn't that day for us. And that's where it is. When the interview comes in, we don't blame the car. We don't blame the situation. We don't blame ourselves. We just say, today wasn't the day. It wasn't our day. We didn't play in the, you know, to the best of our abilities. You know, there could have been some outside influences. There could have been some inside influences, but we weren't able to be at our top best today, and that's what it is. And that's where it really is supposed to be. But you can see the negativity that leaks out of, you know, Lewis's experience. I keep saying it. I'm useless. I don't know. I'm just useless. That's not true. You gotta, you know, I don't know. That's really what it is like, well, I had hoped to have had, you know, so much more energy and get so much more done this week, but my production levels were pretty low. Couldn't get anyone to answer the phone. Couldn't get too much going on. Realistically, you can't force the world to work how you think, you know, your work should be done. It works when it works. And I told you this 2 days ago as I'm grinding this shit. It's not the time. It's not the time. It's a time to plant seeds, but none of them should actually manifest till next year. At least till the first light. We're going into the dark, bro. That makes no sense. Why would you start a garden if it's, you know what I mean, right before fucking winter? Doesn't make sense. And that's how you're supposed to look at your life. God had a season and stuff. He had everything set perfectly, and we decided to perfectly not do it that way. So if we go back to the original way of His way, everything goes smooth. It's when we're not doing it His way and we want to find our own way that we need to just get out of the way. We make things harder. It's not like you're not, you can't stray away from what God wants for you. You're just going around in circles, ultimately. You don't want to climb the path. You don't want to climb the mountain. You don't want to face the fucking, you don't want to do the deed. You don't want to face the shit. I don't know. Well, I gotta move on. I have an appointment with my caseworker, which should be great, considering all the fucking grievances and shit that have been turned in over the week. I was kind of glad to see fucking, in that sense, I was glad to see Frankie's mom, because now there's somebody for, you know, for Diana to leech on to. Jude was already all hanging out with her first thing in the morning, too. I was laughing. It reminds me of Morgan. I was like, Morgan, is she pregnant or what's the deal? She's like, no, bro. She's like one of those fat tweakers. And I remembered, I've seen a lot of them. It's like they eat and they sleep and they actually just, you know, really? Yeah, bro. It's weird to me, guys. I see her, and I'm like, everybody sees her. Am I the only one that thinks it or knows it? She's literally out there in these little girl boxer shorts that are like cotton thin and probably see-through, and a little white tank top, and I believe some flip-flops, and it's fucking maybe 30 degrees. That's not normal behavior. Now, we can sit in front and make all kinds of excuses, but why isn't it so plain and simple for people to see that you're dealing with something, that an unhealthy person right now? A person that goes out like that is automatically telling you that there's something wrong with them. Mentally or not. I mean, obviously mentally. You could say, oh, what if I asked her, is she cold? She's going to say no. That's not logical. Why aren't you cold? Then she comes with this crazy lie of, I've never been cold, and I just have warm blood, or, I have thick skin. That's not true. She could die out there if left out too long, not knowing, because she can't feel her own self freezing to death. Why can't she feel her body temperature and the temperature outside? Is it pure disassociation, or is it drug and alcohol induced? That a human being cannot feel the temperature outside. I'm not talking about the girls that are literally shivering and holding their arms in front of the nightclub. You can visually see that they're cold. They're not pretending not to be cold. They took this risk to look good. That's not what this woman's doing out there. And because she is unaware of how cold it is to her, she's not bundling up her child either. His skin isn't as thick. And yet he's sitting there for as long as you're sitting there in the cold weather. Prone to what? Same as in the heat. And that's what I was bitching about during the summer. You guys just sit out here and keep your kids out here fucking smoldering in the fucking, in the fucking parking lot while you drink all day. They just got here yesterday. I've already seen them 5 fucking times. They were out there this morning. They were going out as I was coming in. I assure you, on everything holy, when I go out to have my cigarette, they're still out there. They might come in for a little bit, but they go out there. And that's fine, but they drag their babies out there. And they keep their babies out there. And it's not just her. There's a bunch of them. In the beginning, I told all of them to do things with their kids. That there's parks, there's stuff. You can't do something with them. These children are being denied socialization at such a young age because you're putting them in grown folks' conversation. You're keeping them in adult environments because you don't want to leave your environment to go and nurture your child. There was literally a park at the bottom of the fucking hill. It's not even, it's at the bottom of the parking lot where all of them could easily go and drink and smoke and whatever they do, and their kids could at least be in a play area where there's other children and they can get out of their seats and they can interact with stuff. Now, when they come into the room, same thing. These are small children. They want to interact with stuff. They're learning minds. They want to touch. They want to feel. They want to taste. They want to hear. They want to experience. What is in the room for them to do? There's nothing for them to do. So if you walk past fucking Diana's room, you can hear her screaming at them. And then she comes out and they're just being crazy. They're not being crazy. They have nowhere to direct their energy. You're not putting shoes on them and letting them run because you don't want to chase them. You're not letting them touch things to see what it feels like. So then later, they're going to be kind of like mine and have sensory issues where they don't like the feel of things because they never felt these things before. They were stunted in growth. They didn't get to experience certain things, so now certain things bother them. I'm a pressure cooker, and God has given me my next challenge. Can I alchemize this without letting it come out my mouth? Can I allow these people to live the way that they live without it bothering me and me trying to talk about it is my next challenge. Can I let them exist the way they are and not say shit? Because that's what it said. Not to, you know what I mean? Not to take on other people's battles. Everybody else doesn't say anything. Everybody else is fully aware that they're drunk and on drugs and they're just sitting there doing nothing with their kids. But it doesn't affect anybody else. Why does it affect me? The question is there something wrong with me that I care? Or is there something wrong with you that none of you do care? Who knows? All I know is I'm not supposed to say no shit. And that's like the hardest thing in the world for me to do. So I'm going to work on my next hardest challenge and move on. What else am I trying to do? Of course, get a job for the holidays. I need this to come through pretty quickly. Can't force time. And, you know, just planning my future. Obviously, a house with a fireplace. And I'm going to start a garden now. A witch's garden. Really? I mean, little steps to what my future should look like. I don't know what it should look like until I'm told. And I see the star anise is here. Yep. Somebody's at the door. Gotta go. Love yous. Laters. Bye.